Today, we are talking about one of my favorite quotes from my book, Sight Beyond the Sun. Raveno has many good quotes throughout the book, mostly because of his witty banter with the heroine Kinsley. But this one in particular is really good with their witty banter. It's in the beginning of their fake alliance. He believes it's real, but she knows that she's playing him in order to try to exploit a weakness and commandeer the ship and get herself and her fellow humans back to Earth. But Raveno does not know that, and he is demanding that she report to him on what she's discovered. And of course, she hasn't actually discovered anything because she's not actually spying for him. But this is where the juiciness comes into play. You are my killing hand now, remember? In exchange for your life, you now report to me. He crossed his arms. So, report. Kinsley took a deep breath, the veins in her neck straining from the effort of dangling one-handed. Perspiration had plastered a lock of feathered hair to her flushed skin. She tried ineffectually to blow it away from where it lay, obstructing her vision. An unbidden force took control of Raveno's arm, and before logic could stop his reaction, his hand was touching her cheek. She ceased blowing. She ceased breathing entirely. Careful of his claws, in such close proximity to that delicate skin, Raveno brushed those stubborn hairs back from her face and behind her ear, out of her eyes. Her throat swelled and contracted as she swallowed. "Are you figuratively stabbing my back?" he asked. "No," she whispered. "Then speak. I cannot imagine you earning your freedom by spying on an empty room." "The room wouldn't have been empty had you not dismissed the guards." "Are you telling me that your orders have changed? Are you now to observe and not cause chaos?" Raveno cracked his knuckles in subtle warning. "When did you meet with him for this mission update?" Her eyes flicked to his claws. "Are you implying that you'll pound the truth out of me if I don't answer you?" "Perhaps not so subtle." He grinned, flashing every tooth to lethal advantage. In his experience, people without such teeth found them intimidating. She sniffed. "Before you commence the pounding, may I at least have the dignity of standing on my own 2 feet?" Raveno retreated a step and swept his hand out graciously. "By all means." Kinsley released the lip of the heating vent and landed on said 2 feet. She straightened, slow and cautious, as if braced to run. As if she'd get very far if she tried. "Try." He shook his head. What kind of thought was that? "I will ask for a final time, by will or wrath. What are your orders?" "By will or what?" He held up a hand. "Do not attempt to change the subject. You drugged my guards." "I didn't for nearly 100 shows. You've been drugging them." She reared back at that. 100 shoes? Shows. A measurement of time. You have this on Earth, but you base it on the sun instead of shifts. It is... Raveno rubbed his brow, calculating. "The equivalent of 3 shifts." She stared at him, uncomprehending. "On Earth, it's the time between sunrises." Her face lit. "A shoe is a day." "Shows," he corrected her. Again. "But a shows is a measurement of time independent from light and darkness." "Interesting. Then how does a shoe measured if not by the sun?" "By shifts. Raveno raised a hand, interrupting himself. "I will not allow you to distract me. After over 100 days of escaping your room and drugging my crew, the benefit of my doubt have run dry. When do you report to your superior?" "Who?" "My traitor! The next time you meet with him, I want to be there. I will finally know his face and whether my loss is to Ronan or Joni." "We need to be more subtle than that." Her eyes scanned their surroundings, as if his traitor might be right here in the very room. "If my superior discovers that I flip sides, he'll take me out. We're in deep space. No one can go out except in a solo cruiser, if I permit it." "That's not..." But she interrupted herself with a sharp head shake. "What's a solo cruiser?" "A single-occupant spaceship." Raveno flicked an unconcerned claw. "During your next rendezvous, I will observe your meeting covertly." "What, you'd hide around the corner, behind a fern?" "We're not exactly making it difficult for him as it is. He could know already." Raveno snorted. "I'm serious. What if he's spying on me from this room's security footage, She traced a line across her neck. "I'm dead." "No one can spy on you here," Raveno said, exasperated by her temerity. Why was his own crew not as competent? We only have surveillance set up in the shoal's wing. In the what? The hallway and rooms where you and your humans reside. Ah, the brig. Raveno blinked. The what? A brig. It's a prison on a ship. It's where we reside. That was exactly what this ship had become, wasn't it? After a lifetime being caged by his father's rule and society's expectations and thinking himself so clever and above all that nonsense, he'd gone and become someone else's warden. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this witty banter between Kinsley and Raveno in Sight Beyond the Sun and one of my favorite quotes. Have a good day.